Hey guys, it's Jordan with TYT and TYT Politics. Hope everyone is doing well. It is Thursday, my last day in Portland, Oregon, where I've been kind of roaming around this week, vacationing, working a little bit, trying to enjoy the West Coast. As the media salivates over every last move in the Donald Trump circus, there are other stories that are important but not being covered. One is the Clinton Foundation, which, frankly, there has been more and more shady emails and details that have come out of recent showing that Hillary Clinton, frankly, scratched the back of donors to the Clinton Foundation and just normal donors when she was Secretary of State. And now there is a concern among the Clinton Foundation and the Clintons that possibly the Clinton Foundation was hacked as part of the DNC hacks, where they're saying it was Russians, but who knows? Bottom line, the DNC was hacked by hackers. They've been deflecting that, oh, it's the Russians and it's the Watergate of, it's the cybersecurity version of Watergate and all this nonsense. But so far, we haven't seen anything out of the Clinton Foundation that would show it's been severely hacked. But the Clinton Foundation is concerned enough that they might have been hacked, that they have hired a private cybersecurity firm to shore up its data. So I want to give you some information on that, talk about what it possibly might mean. First is from Reuters. It says, Bill and Hillary Clinton's charitable foundation hired the security firm FireEye to examine its data systems after seeing indications they might have been hacked, according to two sources familiar with the matter. So far, no message or document hacked from the New York-based Clinton Foundation has surfaced in public, the sources said. One of the sources and two U.S. security officials said that, like hackers who targeted the Democratic National Committee, Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign, and the Democrats' Congressional Fundraising Committee, the hackers appear to have used spear phishing techniques to gain access to the foundation's network. These techniques include creating bogus emails or websites in an effort to gain access to Clinton Foundation staffers' emails, and then to the foundation itself. Speaking on the condition of anonymity, the U.S. official said the hackers used the same techniques Russian intelligence agencies or their proxies employed against the Democratic Party groups, which suggested the Russians also attacked the foundation. This is the continued propaganda that the Russians hacked the DNC, tried to hack Hillary Clinton's own campaign information. In response to pretty much all the, I'd say, corrupt and happenings in these emails and all the documents, they're blaming the Russians. They want to deflect onto the Russians. They're kind of, stoking in this Cold War thought, maybe to fearmonger a little to Hillary Clinton's base, which is predominantly older voters who remember the Cold War and are susceptible to anti-Russian sentiment. Again, there's been no proof that the Russians were involved or hacked anybody's systems, much less the DNC. But the media, including Reuters, continues to buy into this bullshit from U.S. Lawmakers and security officials that it's the Russians. It's a scare tactic. Neither former White House counsel Catherine Rumier, the Clinton Foundation's principal lawyer, nor a spokesperson for the foundation responded to requests for comment on the hacking and the precautions the organization has taken. Officials with FireEye, which is the security firm that they hired, wouldn't respond either. Although no documents have emerged, the attacks have left some Democrats and Clinton campaign officials worried that the hackers might have obtained emails and voice messages that could be used to reinforce Republican charges that donors to the Clinton Foundation were rewarded with access to Clinton and her aides while she was Secretary of State, or to her husband, President Bill Clinton. Another concern, hackers or outlets such as the anti-secrecy WikiLeaks website could release documents and emails damaging to her presidential campaign, several people familiar with the foundation's activities said. The Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee convened a closed-door meeting on Wednesday to discuss best cybersecurity practices. So what you have here, essentially, is the Clintons, Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton. Donald Trump is self-destructing before our eyes, aided by the media, who will do nothing but cover every little thing Donald Trump does. The media, so far, has not covered the Clinton Foundation with the same fervor that they do every stupid, racist, xenophobic thing Donald Trump says. The media scratched the surface a little bit on these recent emails that were released showing Hillary Clinton doing favors for donors, but they didn't go after her with the same vigor that they go after Donald Trump on a daily basis. So she's pretty much got a pass. But Bill and Hillary Clinton, they know for shit sure that there's some stuff that they don't want coming out in their Clinton Foundation servers, data, emails that could really, really hurt her. Particularly if Donald Trump, with his campaign shakeup, whatever you want to call it, stops self-destructing, starts resonating with this outsider populist message. Donald Trump is not going to win back certain sections of America. Latinos, not going to happen. African Americans, he's not going to get a lot of African American voters. But as I've said in reporting in the past, the outsider message where Donald Trump calls her, the queen of corruption, where he goes in depth about, her being bought off by donors, her scratching the backs of donors, her being part of the status quo, her being part of this structure that rigged the system against people in the Midwest and the working class and the blue collar workers. That message resonates. I don't know if he's going to be able to get out of his own way, because it seems that he has hired new people to his campaign that are only going to reinforce, Donald gone wild, saying all these ridiculous things about Mexicans and Muslims and every other group you want to offend. But bottom line, if information comes out showing that Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton, that they used their foundation in a sketchy way, that they made, they gave favorable treatment to donors, that donors to the foundation got favorable treatment in the government, got favorable treatment while she was Secretary of State and after, that's crippling. That is not something that they want getting out in this year that is about populist outrage at the revolving door and the different rules and the different standards for the powerful. So they can't have that getting out, and that's why you see they've hired a security firm. Now, this is speculation. I don't have intel yet on emails that would cripple her, on shady happenings at the foundation. Maybe they just want their data, their donors' information private. So that could be a possibility too. But with the Clintons, what we've already seen evidence that they did give favorable treatment to donors. Whether it was a Chicago hedge fund guy, Raj Fernando was his name, who a hedge fund person miraculously was given was put on a national security advisory board with nuclear scientists. And reports came out that his secret clearance, to give him clearance to top secret information, was expedited by Hillary Clinton's State Department. We saw emails come out about a week and a half ago, but the media has not covered. I called out Jake Tapper. He said he would check into it. Tapper never checked into it, nor did he do anything on the show. There was an email directly from a high-dollar donor named Lana Moresky. Not a donor. She's a bundler. Bundlers help fundraise, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars for candidates. So organize fundraisers, kind of reel in big dollar donors. Very important to candidates like Hillary Clinton. There were emails showing that Lana Moresky emailed Hillary Clinton directly, asking for a favor to get somebody else a job. Hillary Clinton forwarded that email to Uma Abedin, her top aide, and said, quote, "Follow up and help, ? Keep me in the loop." So, there's direct evidence that Hillary Clinton was scratching the back of high-dollar bundlers and donors, yet the media, that's not important. That's just the way things are. Not breaking news. So, bottom line, Hillary Clinton and Bill Clinton hiring a special outside security to make sure Clinton Foundation wasn't hacked. All I got to say, I don't want to be a conspiracy freak, but you got something to hide? That's what I get from it. They're in the home stretch. They're thinking, you know what? They're luckier than any other political figure, including Barack Obama, this century. They're facing probably the worst candidate you could face, somebody who is intent on beating himself. And they're just hoping to run out the clock. They are hoping that the campaign war chest that they've developed can, I think over 100 million at this point, can defeat Donald Trump easily. They're hoping for a landslide so they could say, we have a mandate and then she could get into office and make all these compromises with Republicans. But if this Clinton, if there's stuff in these Clinton Foundation servers, data, emails, that could really change things. Because as egregious as Donald Trump is, as deplorable as Donald Trump is, if something comes out the night before the first debate, or if things come out showing that Hillary Clinton is what you think she is what I have reported she is, if it comes out that the emperor has no clothes, or the empress has no clothes, and she's shown to be corrupt, Donald Trump will be able to capitalize. And we've seen crazy things in this election, so it's not crazy to assume that there are things in this data, in the emails of the Clinton Foundation. We've seen it out in the open already, that Hillary Clinton, Bill Clinton scratched the back of donors. And they weren't exactly that careful about it. They were out in the open in these emails because nobody has called them out, and they were allowed to do this ad nauseum as much as they wanted to. So I think it's very important that you're seeing them hiring this private security firm to protect the Clinton Foundation. I want to read one more story. It's from the New York Post, so take it for a grain of salt. Obviously, the New York Post is a News Corp entity owned by Rupert Murdoch. They're not a friend of the Clintons, so that's a disclaimer. But it's another story on this. Top officials at the Clinton Foundation believe the organization was hacked, causing concern that the data breach will show Hillary Clinton and State Department staff giving preferential treatment to donors. No messages or documents from the New York-based Clinton Foundation have surfaced in public yet, but the foundation has hired the security firm FireEye to examine its data systems after seeing indications they might have been hacked. The Clinton Foundation has been scrutinized for accepting foreign donations, and after it was revealed certain top-level donors got preferential treatment at the State Department. And the suspected hack has left some Democrats and Clinton campaign officials worried about cyber infiltrators might have obtained emails and voice messages that could be used to bolster allegations that donors to the Clinton Foundation were rewarded with access to Clinton and her aides while she was Secretary of State. This goes on to repeat a lot of the information in the previous article. I read that because to show you, CNN, MSNBC, we can't expect them to actually cover this the way it should be covered. We can't expect them to actually hold Hillary Clinton to the same standard they hold Donald Trump to, because they're actively campaigning for Hillary Clinton. But if right-wing media gets its hands on this, mixed with independent media like me, who I'll cover corruption, whoever it's coming from, it's going to cripple her. I mean, you cannot go on a debate stage if there is emails showing that you gave favorable donors, or your aides gave favorable treatment to donors, whether it be government positions, whether it be grants for land, whatever it was as Secretary of State, putting donors on special boards. The more drip that comes out about this, there's really nothing she could say on a debate stage if this comes out. I mean, it is what it is. It's very black and white if and when this comes out. And I don't think they'd be hiring private security if A, they thought their current security was enough, but B, if there wasn't some things that they needed to secure, vital things. So this is common sense. This isn't a conspiracy theory. The bottom line is you don't take this step of hiring outside security if you got nothing to hide. So this is a story to watch. This is one I will be covering extensively. There's more kind of drip coming out about the Clinton Foundation. I actually have a few researchers helping me out, TYT fans that are volunteers who have been working with me. We're looking into some emails and other things. So I'm not just sitting here, enjoying the Pacific Northwest doing nothing. I'm working behind the scenes. So stay tuned for more reporting on the Clinton Foundation. Emma, my colleague, is going to be doing a report today, analysis of Jill Stein's Green Party town hall last night on CNN. I wasn't able to watch it, unfortunately. I don't have a TV where I am, but I've watched clips. I think she did a fairly good job, but Emma's going to go in depth on that. We also have part 2 of the lead crisis in East Chicago, Indiana. That's up on the YouTube page now. Part 3 will be coming out today. I really want to get this shared widely. I want to get more views on this. It's a very important story. The bottom line is, if I'm keeping it real, So, and on the internet, some stories tend to do better than others. If you have Hillary Clinton in a headline, Bernie Sanders in a headline, these things, they tend to get more views. Stories on other things that are equally important sometimes don't get as many views. I just want this information out there to as many people as possible because there is possibly thousands of poor black people that could have been poisoned in East Chicago, Indiana, because the government or the EPA, we still haven't figured out which one, essentially decided to build lead-contaminated land in this low-income section of town and, build a few complexes with poor black people on it. Don't worry about their health. So part one and part two are up on youtube.com/TYTpolitics, and part three is coming up today as well. I'll be going to Florida tomorrow. I'm going to be covering Tim Canova versus Debbie Wasserman Schultz throughout the weekend, trying to land an interview with Tim Canova this weekend, which I think will happen. If it does happen, I'm probably going to stream it on the Young Turks Facebook page this weekend. Also put in a request for Debbie Wasserman Schultz, but she hasn't gotten back to me yet. Not holding my breath. And that's it. So for more, youtube.com/TYTpolitics, my Twitter as usual. And if you have questions, concerns, tweet me, Facebook me, email me, and have a great day.